Business owners, I know you guys have all heard about how the IRS has increased the standard mileage rate for 2023. That is a powerful deduction for all of my business owners who use their vehicles in their business. Welcome to Tax Tip Tuesday with Tried and True Financial Services, where our core mission is helping entrepreneurs like you with the ABCs of finance to simplify your accounting, budgeting, and credit processes. It's your girl, B. Leased, and I brought to you a special guest today. She is so special, very near and dear to my heart. You all may know her as Chanel Odom, boutique owner of Tonico brand, but she's special to my heart because I gave birth to her. This is my daughter. And so she definitely has a special place in my heart. Chanel, welcome to Tax Tip Tuesday.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
You're very welcome. Thanks for agreeing to come on and talk to us because I know as a business owner, you have gone through some of the growing pains and you've learned a lot in your business. So can you talk to us a little bit about how did you get into the boutique business?
Well, it was just fashion was just something that I was into and interested in for many, many years. And so I just really took a leap of faith and decided to go after something that was special to me and something that I thought I would get fulfillment out of. So that's how I got into the business. I just did my research and kind of just jumped in.
Okay. And so I did mention that your name, the name of your business is Tonico brand and your website is here. Can you tell us a little bit more about Tonico brand, what it stands for? How did you come up with that name?
I really wanted something that was unique to me, and usually most designers and brands are named after the owner, and so I couldn't really name mine after myself because my name is already a designer.
Yeah.
So I just kind of did a combination of my middle name. So my middle name is Antoinette. Um, and I shortened it to say Tony, and then CO is just my first and last initial. So that's it. That's the brand. That's where I got the name from.
Awesome. I love it. I think that's very unique. And I love how the brand name is all caps with the lowercase I. That makes it really pop. And I am so proud of you. And when I tell people all the time, my ROI, my return on investment is on fleek because your girl is out here doing some great things. Um, uh, uh, HU graduate, coming home, starting your own business is a very proud moment for me. I want to talk to you a little bit about what type of systems you have in place to keep up with your income and expenses in your business. I know with a retail business, sometimes it could be challenging to keep up with everything, all of your inventory, your cash flow, what's coming in, what's going out. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you keep track of all of that critical information?
Yeah, it's a lot. So I don't try to keep it in my head. So I do use Shopify, which
Okay.
integrates into both my business bank account and my QuickBooks, which is where my expenses and income is tracked. So everything that comes in through my bank account and through Shopify, they all kind of like talk to each other and keep track of it that way.
Okay. That's very nice. So you use QuickBooks and do you were you comfortable or familiar with QuickBooks, or how did you come into the know? Your background, I know already, is in finance, but as a finance major, how did you kind of like get comfortable with QuickBooks?
Well, I wasn't really taught about QuickBooks in school, so I did learn about QuickBooks through my mother, tried and true financial services.
Really?
So yeah, when we were working, prior to me even starting my business, I would help out in your business, and so that's how I knew about QuickBooks. But yeah, I just knew that that was the way that I wanted to go. And especially when I started my website through Shopify and saw that it integrated, I thought that would be the easiest way to keep track of everything.
Right. So I really just want to drive the point home for a lot of entrepreneurs who are intimidated by QuickBooks, feel overwhelmed by it. Like, this is a perfect case of a situation where you have someone who has a background in finance. Finance is a very broad topic, right? There's a lot of different things you can do with finance. There's a lot of things to study in finance. And here's a young lady with a finance degree from a prestigious college who still needed some help. So getting help when you're running a business, I say it all the time, do what you do best and delegate the rest. So it's very important to go ahead and add someone to your team who is knowledgeable, who's operating in the space that you're operating in, to get the help that you need to run your business. Well, Chanel, I also understand and know that, and one of the main things I wanted to talk about is how the IRS for 2023 has released these updated mileage rates up to 65 and a half cents. The IRS has increased their 2023 standard mileage rates to 65 and a half cents for per mile when you're driving for business. And I understand and know that not necessarily with Tonico brand. I know you have multiple streams of income and you have some opportunities where you do some driving in your business. I know in the beginning you were doing deliveries, right? When you first
Hmm.
started with Tonico, but that kind of
Yeah.
morphed into something even more powerful. But all along, it was very necessary. Anytime you get in your vehicle and you're driving for business, the IRS requires that you have a mileage log. And so it's very important that you keep track of your miles for tax reporting purposes to make sure that you're in compliance with the tax law. So, can you talk to us a little bit about what you've done to keep track of your mileage? Are you using a separate app? Are you using QuickBooks? Like, how do you keep track of that critical information?
I think that QuickBooks actually does have a way for you to track your miles, and I don't know why I didn't look into using QuickBooks for that, but there is another app called MileIQ that I do use, and
Okay.
it's pretty easy. So I don't know if it costs more or if it's or what, but it's pretty simple to use.
Okay.
So I use MileIQ.
Okay. And so when you go in and you set up Mile IQ, it's pretty user friendly and you're able to just maybe tap the app to track your mileage. Like,
Well, so how it works is you set it up and you download it and set everything up with your vehicle and your information, and then it basically just tracks your miles for you. It knows when you're driving, and it'll ask you, as long as you have the app open, it will ask you, was this drive that you just completed, was it personal or business? And you can either swipe left or swipe right depending on which one it is, and it tracks it for you, and it even lets you know like how much you have like accumulated as far as dollars per mile.
oh, that's awesome. And then at the end of the year, it produces a report for you to prepare your taxes.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. So, would you say, as a business owner at this point, that you're ready for tax time, that you're ready for tax season? We're like really in the first part of January. I know a lot of employers and independent contractors, they don't get their W-2s or their 1099s until the end of January. Business owners have to produce a profit and loss statement from their accounting software, whether it's QuickBooks or Waves or anything like that. But would you say that you're set up for success as we wrap up the end of the year with having all of your systems in place in order to produce the reports that you need to get your taxes done, and that you've dotted your I's and crossed your T's to be prepared as a business owner? And how much effort does that really take throughout the year?
Yeah. Last year I actually filed an extension because I was not ready to file my taxes on time. So I worked with you to get my books together and get all my reports together so that I could file my taxes by the extension date. But I know that this year that I'll be much more on track to have my taxes filed in a timely fashion because of the work we did last year and what we'll do for years to come.
Awesome. I love to hear it. And I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. And I'm so grateful that partnering with Tried and True Financial Services has been a blessing to you and set you up for success, making sure that you have your systems in place to track your income and your expenses, that you know your numbers, and also that you have a system in place that can keep track of the critical documentation that you need to operate your business more successfully. If you could give any word of advice to small business owners, people that are looking to operate a successful business, what are some final comments that you might leave them with?
I would say just stay on top of those small things that you don't think really matter in the beginning, like having your finances separate, you having your bank account, having someone on your team who can assist you with that stuff because you don't want it to fall behind, and having somebody that's knowledgeable there to remind you of important dates and things of that nature so that you don't get in trouble with the IRS because
Yeah, nobody
that's
wants
not
that,
fun.
right?
Yeah, and you don't want to have to pay additional fees and penalties because you weren't on top of it from the very beginning.
Absolutely. It's like throwing money out the window. I tell my business owners all the time when I see unnecessary expenses showing up on their P&L statement, their profit and loss statement, or in their books, I tell them, well, you might as well just jump on the freeway, jump on 8 Mile, wherever, whatever the major road is in your area. Roll down the window and put on that rap song. I don't know, maybe you can remember who is by, but they talk about riding down the highway, switching 4 lanes, top down, screaming out, money ain't a thing. Roll down the window and just throw your money out the window, right?
Right?
We
Yeah.
don't want to do that. We don't want to throw money out the window. We don't want to pay extra fees. We don't want to pay unnecessary fees. So it's always very important if you want to take advantage of important deductions like this one, where the IRS acknowledges that gas prices are at an all-time high. People are using their vehicles, moving around a lot more for business purposes. Listen, the tax code is designed to benefit small business owners. So a lot of times we shirk back and we kind of shy away from it, but when you know better, you can do better. And if you don't know, that's why it's so important to add someone to your team that can keep you in the know about what's necessary. You can't just be out there operating like, okay, whatever, however, whenever type of thing. But when you do prior planning and you sit down and you take the initiative to educate yourself, to put somebody on your team that can help you, you're in a much better position. So I am looking forward to working with you this tax season to make sure that we get you the most um, accurate and the best refund possible, right? We're not here to guarantee, $5,000 to $10,000 returns because every situation is different. Depending on your situation, is going to always depend on what your outcome is. But Tried and True Financial Services is established to help entrepreneurs with the ABCs of finance, to simplify your accounting, budgeting, and credit processes. That's what we're all about. We want to make it simple to you. That's why we coined the ABCs of finance. And when you know better, you do better. And we're here to help. So thank you all for joining us for today's segment of Tax Tip Tuesday with none other than retail boutique owner Tonico Brand, Chanel Odom of Tonico Brand. And be sure to check her out. Her website is listed here at www.tonicobrand.com. And your retail location is your address.
66 East Forest Avenue in Detroit, Michigan.
66 East Forest Avenue in Detroit, Michigan. If you're in the area, make sure that you stop by and check her out. And if you're not, make sure that you go online and support. Thank you so much for joining us today, Chanel. You enjoy the rest of your day and be blessed.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.